Good morning, Pat Winter here. I first wanted to thank all of you who have subscribed to my channel. I have just been doing videos for the past year to share the journals with the ladies who have bought them so they can see the product before they purchase, because most of the journals have been sold before I finish them. So, and I've never really thought about subscribers and numbers or anything like that, but I realize that I am getting some, and I appreciate every one of them, and I thank you for watching my videos, and I'm happy that you are enjoying them. So, I don't video every journal that I make because a lot of them are personal or gifts, and I just don't tape those. But today I'd like to share with you a journal I actually made for myself. And it is about gardening because I love flower gardening. And I just wanted a journal that reflected, what I enjoy. So this journal, I purchased this image off of an Etsy seller, and I just loved the coloring in her dress and the peachy colors and the stripes. So I used that as the focal point, and then I discovered some really pretty. I will link them in the below the video. Pressed pansies in the shades that I love. So I decided to apply those and then use a lot of very vintage laces, and then a butterfly with my favorite saying by Ralph Waldo Emerson: "Though we travel the world over to find the beautiful, we must carry it with us, or we find it not." And I think all of you understand that, the meaning of that. And here is a boho bead that I purchased from an Etsy seller, and it's with the velvet. It has 3 signatures, and I just had purchased an old piece of fabric from eBay several years ago, and I love the colors, so that's what I used for my cover. And I took an old doily and I used those large snaps as a closure, which I've never done before, but I figured since it's my journal, if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I love it, so it works for me. So let's get into it. Under the front cover, I just have some large tags, a piece of vintage fabric, and some old beaded and embellished lace as a belly band. And I used a few kits throughout this journal, but I will link them below. So just briefly, since it's just mine, I just wanted to kind of go through it fairly quickly, because I hate wasting time uploading videos. It takes me forever. So anyway, here's just a little flip of a slide with a butterfly, because I have lots of butterflies in my garden, and a very vintage piece of lace with a porcelain rose and a vintage mother of pearl button. And this idea came from my friend Jan Obertine. She had sent me a beautiful one similar to this, but hers was just exquisite. And I thought they'd make beautiful little toppers for pages, so I've started putting them in my journals. And this is handmade paper. I didn't make it, but I love the feel of it. I'm just going to set it. Hopefully you can, yeah, you can see it. Okay, so under the first pocket I just have a couple of journaling cards. And my little neighbor girl, Leah, she has completed her first journal. And she had a birthday, and I bought her, she's into calligraphy. She was interested, so I bought her a calligraphy set and the stamp sealing sets. So she sent me a thank you card. She used her, I think it's just adorable. She used the method of the fancy fold for her letter, and then she used her seal, and she scruffed it up with her Tim Holtz distress ink, and I thought that was just so sweet. So if you have a young lady out there, a neighbor child, a friend's child, a granddaughter or niece or whatever, try to get them interested in this because they really love it. And it's Leah even used her video on her journal as a school project. And I thought that was wonderful. I love that. Anyway, here's some very old lace. It is so fine and delicate, and I've always loved it, so I included a piece in my own journal. And this is just a flip out. And on one of the ladies online who does the projects, that's where I got this idea. And it's just filled with insects, little butterflies, fussy cut, and journaling cards with the cloche. I love cloches. And a couple of little journaling cards that slip in there. And then the closure. I'm thinking it's G. Kerr again, but I'm not sure. So I will link that when I find it. And it's just some torn baker's paper. No, this is just grocery bag paper, and a piece of vellum that I printed butterflies on from a My Porch Prints image. And this is from Shabby Art Boutique. And it's just a moth from one of her kits, her handmade club kits, which I encourage you to join because her items are beautiful, shabby, and I love them. And this is just a skeleton leaf and a couple of journaling cards. And in the spring, when I'm doing my cleanup after our very long winter here in the Midwest, I find quite a few skeleton leaves that have just decomposed under the layers and layers of leaves and mulch. So the pages are fairly just mismatched. And this is, it's a specimen slide idea from my friend Leslie Keinrich. And I can't remember where she got it, but I will link where I purchased the little bugs and such, and the tutorial. And I just turned that into a pocket. And this just flips up for a pocket, but there's nothing in there. It's just an envelope, a long envelope, and so I left the sticky on it since it was for me. Otherwise I would have covered it with something pretty. And excuse me, Uniquely Ella shared a video making these long page tabs, and I fell in love with them, and I haven't stopped making them. I can't stop. It's just, they're just such a good way to use up scraps. It's just scrap paper, collaged paper. And anyway, I'll link that because you should really try your hand at it. They're adorable. You can make them all different sizes. And on the side you dangle, so it's kind of like you can add your little journal jewelry to the edges instead of poking a hole in your tabs. And they're embellished on both sides. Anyway, they're very, very sweet, very fun to make, and like I said, you use your scraps. And you can use them as, I glued this one all the way down just for embellishment, but some of them you just glue the top and the bottom, and you use it as a tuck spot. And this is just a pocket with journaling cards. This is from My Porch Prints. It's the 3-dimensional bee insert, and I have a lot of bees in my garden, so I had to put that in. And here's one of the pressed pansies, just used as a tuck spot. And here's the other part of the envelope that I just cut open. I haven't decorated it yet. That'll be down the road when something comes to me. And just a little pocket with a couple of tabbed journaling cards, and the other piece of the vellum, and the other piece of the paper bag that I used a little belly band. Some pretty fabric I got from my friend Shannon from Sweet Inspirations on Etsy. And this little saying is from Tracy Fox. I mean, not saying, it's a little tag, specimen tag, and I just use it as a little pocket for a butterfly. And this is from G. Kerr, from one of her kits. They're teardrops, and I will link that, but I just turned one upside down and added a bulb pin to, and made a little tassel with a little rose charm, and I thought that was really cute. Another accent, little decoration for your pages, and another tuck spot. I love this image. I love that image. And I printed it on matte photo paper, so it just looks like velvet. It's just so soft. And this little bunny is from another kit from the Handmade Club, from Shabby Art Boutique. And I just used it as a tuck spot with this sweet little girl as a journaling card. Like I said, I just put stuff in here that I liked, that I wanted to use. This is it's not really old, but I've had it for many years, and it's just a piece of lace that my friend Shannon had shared with me several years ago. And it has little sequins and really pretty little beads, and I just wanted a piece in here. And another pocket, or tuck spot, for journaling cards. And Ira Lemija has these little photo slides in her shop. It's Ira Lemija Shop on Etsy, and I just put a petal from a peony, a dried peony, in this one, and some of my dried lavender from my garden in the other, and they're just kind of fun to include. And this is just a piece of paper that I've folded. It's blank on the other side. If I have a lot to write, I will use that. And that's the first signature. And the butterfly wing is curled. And this is masking paper. My dad used to use that in his body shop all the time. And it's kind of neat to add to journals. It comes in a couple colors of green, and comes in natural craft colored paper. And just a journaling card tucked in another pansy. And this is another one of the ideas from one of the gals online. It's either Angela Kerr or G. Kerr, I believe, but it has a little tuck spot and a little pocket for Let Love Grow in Your Heart, from Seed to Full Bloom. And I just printed that in Photoshop on an old scrap paper digital. And then this opens with the invisible Velcro, and then you have more places for secret little notes, jot down notes and dates. So there's quite a lot of journaling that you can do on that. And if you use plain paper, you could even journal. Well, if you use a black marker, you could even use it here. But anyway, this is a paper clip, if I can get it off. And I can't remember who did that, but if I find it, I will link it. This is from my friend Jan. She put lace behind this card, and I'm going to fill my journal with cards and stuff from my friends as well as my own. So that one I just tucked in there right away so I wouldn't lose it. A little seed packet that I'm going to collect seeds from a new zinnia type that I planted this year from Florette. It's a beautiful pink zinnia, so I'm going to put the seeds in there for next year. And just a little tidbit of scrap paper, another tuck spot with journaling cards, some pretty papers. And these are the pack of envelopes again that everyone seemed to really love in the grandmother's keepsake journal. And I just find it's very versatile to put in any journal. So I tucked it in here with a couple of little sayings. Grow beautiful feelings in your heart's garden. And just another little pocket for journaling cards. And I printed this on airmail paper, which a friend had introduced me to, and now we can't get enough of it, so whenever we find it, we buy it. But I loved this image of the lady laying by a pond and a little bird perching on her hand. So I used that for the centerpiece. Little tuck spot. And here is another of Uniquely Ella's page tabs, which again I used for decoration only. And here's another of G. Kerr's teardrops, only I put it horizontally so I could dangle and they just fall out of the journal. I love those. It's got a little a rose, which was a gift from a friend. And another little tuck spot. And I just added some cheesecloth and a word and a little vintage flower to these because I love the colors of them. I've got plenty of space to journal. And when I found these little journaling pin holders, that clips, so I bought myself one and my little journaling pal Leah, so we can just always have a pin if we don't have a flat pin, which I have not made for this journal, so I have that. I love this picture. Oh, it's clipped in there with, it's very nice and tight, so you will not lose your pen. Anyway, this is from Graphics Fairy, and I love that image. I had used that image years ago in on a Crazy Quilt purse, and then I discovered it again, and I just used it, backed it with baking paper as a journaling card. And just, there's more masking paper. Tuck spot with two more of those pretty, it was a set of 4 or 6, I believe. 2 more of those pretty cards, and I just decorated them a little bit with really old lace and collaged. And this is bent because it's too full. This is the 3rd signature. I love these papers. And this is just a tuck spot with old lace and a little gold tassel dangle. another seed packet, and this will hold my Morning Glory seeds from this year. Here's another of G. Kerr's teardrops. And I used as a tassel. It's got a little gardening trowel in there. They're dangling from the bulb pen. And some more vintage lace, very old and fine. And another of Carrie Ann Shabby Art Boutique little bunnies as a tuck. And here's that lady again. I enlarged her in a different angle. Turned it into a journaling card. And I love putting in little, they look like they're ripped, but they're from a kit from Etsy. And I printed in Photoshop, I'd rather have roses on my table than diamonds on my neck. And that is so true for me. I know a lot of women would rather have diamonds, but give me flowers. My husband's a lucky guy because I don't care too much for jewelry unless it's gifted to me by friends or if it's handmade. There's another flat or pressed pansy image. And this was just an envelope that I cut out of music paper and I didn't glue, so I could put some little vellum stickers in here if I want to put in something special. And then some more little bits of fussy cuts from Carrie Ann's handmade club. And I left the top open so I could tuck in some more journaling cards. And I put a little corner piece in here to just tuck up a little, card, and then one in the opposite corner below. And this is just a printed French I think it is a notice or something, I'm not sure. But I used one of the gals' methods online on a video to age it. I thought that was kind of neat, so I'm using that in here. And a piece of vintage, it looks like the 50s, but I don't know what year it's from. But it was kind of neat and quirky, so it made it into my journal. And a butterfly with a tuck spot. And I used another saying on a scrap paper as a belly band to put in a few fun things. And this just has a piece of baking paper that I printed a letter or something on, and I just used that in here just for the fun of it, because you know how we like the crinkly sound of papers. There's some old trim. And these are just flips, or that's just a flip, I should say, that I could write on the back. And another little pressed pansy as a tuck spot. And a little pocket in here with a couple of little things, an envelope that I can put something in. And another little pocket with journaling cards. Tracy Fox little specimen tag. Here's a little gift. It was a garden trowel and a rake from a friend, so I use that as a dangle. And here's another of Uniquely Ella's page tabs that I used this time as a tuck. And I dangled a little oak leaf because it's getting that time of year here in the Midwest. Fall, it has begun. Not officially, but the leaves are falling. And that's just a dried rose petal image that I cut out, and it's all crinkly, and I I love weird stuff like that, so I put that on there. And embossed this page, the other side of the tab. I used also as a tuck spot. And another one. Like I said, I can't get enough of them. I can't stop making them. I love how they add so much to a page. And you can just tuck in a letter, you can tuck in cards, whatever you want. And then, you know, don't forget your little dangles. We all love our journal jewelry. And this little note, I don't know who that's from, but it's personal, so I'm not going to read it. And that is just a mistake. And here's another corner tuck and another piece from, I don't know where that came from, another piece from Shabby Art Boutique. Some old lace and another leaf charm. That's just a piece of vellum sticker. Another pocket. I love all this kit that has all of these, you know, the overalls, the gardening tools, because that's my life. That's what I do. I garden and I visit my mom, who is 90. She's going to be 91 in just a couple months. And I'm very thankful to still have her. And I visit her several times a week, and I tend a little garden for her as well. But gardening is what, you know, is my passion. And junk journaling, of course. And sometimes crazy quilting used to be like crazy, but anyway, this was from an idea from my friend Leslie Kindrich as well, and this one is from her, but I bought the kits and now I make my own, which I love, and it's tucked in with a pretty little corner, very simple little tuck spot. And I used some flowers from another kit as a belly band. And Uniquely Ella, another page tab, and this one has some bling. This one has little diamonds. Well, okay, they're not diamonds, but little crystals hanging from them. And a little saying from Ira Lamija shop. And then I printed on fabric some butterflies and added them here and there. And then the back page is just a collaged pocket which hides the vintage doily, and a couple of an envelope that I could put something in, and a friend, Elaine Kewen, she lives in Florida now, and she, BriarRose.com, she makes the most amazing little porcelain figurines, sewing products, just gorgeous dolls, and you should visit her website. It's BriarRose.com. She just got the most unique, beautiful little items. And this is I made from somebody. I did this last year, so I cannot remember who this was from, but it had to be someone like G. Kerr or something, or Angela Kerr, or I'm not sure. Anyway, it's just an envelope, but I love it, and I made it. I was going to make a bunch of them to send off, but after I made this one, I just fell in love with it, and I just kept it. So that's mine. Even if I never use it, I can just always pull it out and look at it. So, and that is the end of my own personal journal. So now I can write in it. I've been writing on the side in a notebook of things I want to write in it, but I didn't want to fill it yet because I wanted to show it and I didn't want my personal thoughts shown. So anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a great day, and thanks again for watching. Bye.